Hi! So today's video is about Ma Rendi Pur Contento. We'll talk about the history, the text, the melody, tying it all together, and everything in between. Let's jump into it. By the way, I've put timestamps below so you can skip all the boring bits like history in the text. First, let's talk about the historical context of the piece. Ma Rendi was written by Vincenzo Bellini in 1827 when he was about 26 years old. He'd written about one or two operas at this point and he had just moved to Milan for a commission at La Scala. Soon after his arrival, he met an older couple, Francesco and Mariana Pollini, that took Bellini under their wing. Ma Rendi is the last song in a six-piece cycle that he dedicated to Mariana. Later, he would dedicate La Sonnambula to Francesco. Okay, I think that's enough for history for now. Let's talk about the text and translation. For starters, this piece is in Italian. There you go. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye! Don't worry, there's only two verses, so there isn't much to memorize. The text itself was taken from Pietro Metastasio's Ipermestra, and that story was taken from a Greek myth, Perumnistra, which is some story about a Lydian princess who had 49 sisters, who had to marry 50 brothers, and I think they were cousins, and I don't know, but you don't really need to know about all that. But what you do need to know is that this story is about two lovers who, for no fault of their own, were having a tough time. This character is basically asking Cupid, or insert god of choice here, to please make my love happy, even if I can't be. Aw. I think it's important to know a word-for-word translation, but also a sort of poetic understanding as well. Fortunately, in this song, they're about the same. Let's discuss the translation first, as I always find it helps to know what you're saying. So here's the whole text. 8 lines, 2 verses. It ain't gonna kill you. First I'll read the piece as a whole, and you can follow along to the right, and then I'll go line by line. And just before any Italians absolutely destroy me, I am by no means a linguist, so please forgive any mistakes. Here we go. Ma rendi pur contento della mia bella il core, e ti perdono, amore, se lieto il mio non è. Gli affanni suoi pavento, più degli affanni miei, perché più vivo in lei di quel ch'io vivo in me. So now we'll take it line by line, and I'll give you some space so you can repeat the words after me. Ma rendi pur contento della mia bella il core. So take note of the double consonants there. So the L's, you have two doubles. You have della and then bella. So you just have to give a little bit more space in between the consonants. So instead of della or bella, you have della and bella. Not too hard, I'll try one more time. Della mia bella il core. But please make happy my beautiful one's heart. E ti perdono, amore, se lieto il mio non è. And I will forgive you, love, if my heart is not glad. Gli affanni suoi pavento. Now this has about 3 double consonants because you've got the double F, the double N, but also, and now please correct me if I'm wrong, you also pronounce the gli as if it were double. So gli affanni is double, double, double. Gli affanni suoi pavento. Più degli affanni miei. That's a really fun sentence to say. Let's do it one more time. Gli affanni suoi pavento, più degli affanni miei. I fear her anxieties more than my anxieties. perché più vivo in lei di quel ch'io vivo in me. Now, you can see you have vivo and viva here. Now, the way I read it is if you are, for example, male, you can say vivo. For example, if you can hear Pavarotti sing it, he says vivo all the way through. And I think Cecilia Bartoli does viva the whole way through. So if you wanted to go perché più vivo in lei di quel ch'io vivo in me, I think that's fine. I don't think Bellini's going to come back to haunt you if you do it wrong. Now, last thing is when you have in me, you don't have to go in me. You can actually pronounce the M almost as if it were a double. So you can say di quel ch'io vivo in me. So just a double M, because I live more through her than I live through myself. And I really hope this helps you with the text. Feel free to rewind it, slow it down, do whatever you have to do. And if you would like me to go in further detail, please let me know in the comments below. And finally, for the fun bit, the melody. Don't worry about needing to read music or learning to play the piano. I've got that covered. I've made a piano track in the low key of E flat with the melody played in octaves on top. I hope it helps. Now that you know the melody, we can finally start singing on top. I usually start singing a piece on a single vowel or the corresponding vowels without any consonants. For example, Ma Rendi Pur Contento becomes aeo. This helps build the legato line before you add the complications of consonants. I know this step takes a bit of practice, so feel free to sing along with me while following the music at the bottom. Let's do it. io, io, Let's talk about a couple technical points before you go and tackle the piece in its entirety. So, I like to breathe about a measure before, get a nice slow breath, nice high kind of through the resonators, and think about the ma before it falls on the page. I'll show you what I mean. If you start ma on the measure, you're going to be late because you have that ah. So anticipate it a little bit more so that you go Ma Rendi. Do you see what I mean? Then the next bit, contento. The important part of that word is tento. So even though the notes are higher, conte, don't give them a huge amount of volume and intensity. So really, really prepare that Ma Rendi Pur Contento. Do you see? Enjoy the double consonants coming up here. Della mia bella il cuore. Again, float these notes here. Don't just, higher notes. Cuore, cuore. You have to kind of really prepare yourself almost and unmoving. Della mia bella il cuore. Almost as if you went cuore. But here you can start to bring the drama. Ti perdono amore, se lieto il mio non è. Enjoy every consonant. Now that we're adding the consonant in, make a use of them. Help them propel your vowels forward. Like this. Gli affanni suoi pavento più degli affanni miei. And really enjoy when you have a vowel that goes to another vowel, so a diphthong. Really find the closest movement that you can make to go from one vowel to the other. So, for example, miei. Work it out in your mouth. Work it out in your mouth to really miei, miei. It's kind of like tuning. You really have to take your time, because if you go miei, you see how it kind of like they're in different planets altogether. So you have to kind of marry them together. Miei, perché più vivo in the second half. And I always find actually with Bellini pieces, the second half is always like a lot more drama. So this last page, you almost say the same thing, I think 3 times.
Più di quel che io vivo in me, di quel che io vivo in me.
I mean, you say it like 5, 6, 7 times. So how can you make it interesting every time? How can you make it different every time? Let's find out. Perché più You know, the good thing about these pieces, he doesn't put any dynamic markings in the singer's part. So it's really up to you to decide, and it's definitely not up to me to decide for you. So have fun with it. If you feel like you go perché più vivo in lei, you want to do the nice and piano, oh God, you know, that kind of thing, that's up to you. Or if you want to go perché più vivo in lei, that's more my style. Di quel ch'io vivo, and then you can bring it back. Io vivo in me, di quel ch'io vivo, io vivo in me. And you can really like come in for that. You know, I find that works for me. I start a little bit louder and then I go soft in the middle to give it a bit of difference, and then I end big. But you can do it exactly the opposite. That's totally up to you and your personality. So, because Bellini didn't actually write it, he wrote a mezzo forte, which is like medium loud, and then piano in the piano part. And then nothing else throughout. So I don't expect that he wants it piano throughout the whole. No, there needs to be some variation. So play with it. And ask your pianist if you have a pianist. If you don't, well, then use one of my tracks. Now, the very last bit. Di quel ch'io vi. And you just want to like go there. I find the best way to do this last note is to not really try and go at it, and really just kind of like let it like flow through you. Now, what does that mean? It means I have a wide and low shoulder, and my whole body is prepared to let the note out. Don't worry so much unless you want to like make a specific effect. You want to make it really, really loud or really, really soft here. I would just focus on singing the note rather than, oh, I need to make it really loud. Because where it sits already, it will be louder. It's much higher in the piece. I'll give you an example of two kind of ways. And you can see the difference of when you kind of make the note happen and when you let the note happen. We'll see the difference. Di quel ch'io vivo. Okay, and the other difference is like this. Di quel ch'io vi. You see, if you try to make the note happen, if you go happen. This is the sound that you get, actually. That's the sound.
24 hours later.
Okay, where were we? Last phrase. This last phrase has got to have all the love you can give, just bundled up into 4 notes. And really giving off like a kiss. Remember, you can do a double there instead of in. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Take your time with it. Don't rush it. I know we've done it in 20 minutes or so, but it's gonna take you. This is a piece that you can grow with, and it's beautiful for concerts and recitals. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful, but not too boring. And if you did like it, do the liking and subscribing thing. This is the first video of its kind for me, and it takes a little bit of time, but I think it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. And yeah, so thanks so much. So I really did wait 24 hours for that damn construction to finish. And I wore the same outfit because, continuity in that. It made me think, YouTubers must rewear their clothes. I mean, do you guys do laundry before? I mean, you mustn't do laundry, really. I mean, you can't smell me, thank God.